Hello, 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 and welcome to the next installment of What Happens in the Neighborhood. I'm here with my very good friend, Patience. Patience, what's going on?
Nothing much. What's going on with you?
The summer is coming to an abrupt end, so
It's true.
everyone's on a little bit of a downer because of that.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, what's your favorite season, by the way? Is it summer? Is it autumn? What is it?
It's always summertime.
Always summer, yes.
Yeah.
Same
How
here.
about you?
So, yeah, summer. Although autumn is very pretty time of year.
Mm.
But yeah, so the school kids are back in school. Um, people's holidays are coming to an end, and everyone's back at work. The weather starts to get a bit colder this time of year. The leaves start falling. So yeah, we need to look at ways that we can all keep positive and upbeat and healthy.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
What ways do you try to keep up to?
Well, I think eating healthily, like it's a time of year you start to eat those big healthy soups. Um, and obviously make sure you keep exercising and watching lots of comedy films as well. That's always good.
Okay. All right, so a lot of laughing and being outside.
Being outside, make sure to wrap up well, but being outside, of course, you need
Yeah.
to, because the sun's kind of going in more and more, you need to get your dose of vitamin D as much as you can. So yes, make yourself go outside when you can. How about yourself? How do you keep yourself cheery and upbeat during these months?
Is that in summertime or winter time? Sorry, I forgot.
In the autumn and winter?
In autumn and winter time, I pretty much, because I think watching a show is one of those things like that kind of keep your mind occupied. But I
Yeah,
also tend to try find activities like winter activities that I can do. And
yeah.
I'm actually challenging myself this winter to try skiing. So that's gonna
Ooh,
be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of falling. And I want to get like, do you know those outfits that look really warm? Because I don't like the cold.
yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna get one and then try learn how to ski, how to skate, like ice skating as well. Which is really good because I think in wintertime you need to be social as well, just as much as you are in summertime, just to kind of keep it might not be as fun because your face is cold and there's a
Mm.
lot of wind and whatnot, but it's better than just not doing anything and just being less active, which actually prompts you to feel depressed.
Yeah. That's it. You need to keep your endorphins up. So maybe join a gym and get ready for next summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be looking at ways that you can keep happy and positive within your community. So, on with today's show. We have just passed the bank holiday weekend. Something mammoth that happened was the Notting Hill Carnival. Now, Patience, I happen to know that you didn't actually go to this year's carnival, and neither did I. But you
Mhm.
did, you was in London, wasn't you? And you saw some of the festivities going on.
Yeah, it was I think the biggest sign was like the transportation.
Yeah,
Very packed, very colorful. Honest, I was low key jealous because I wanted to go, and I've always like seen those outfits that people wear to carnivals, and they look so good in them. I'm just like, I'll probably just go with like a normal outfit and join, maybe like with shorts or something. But it looked really fun, and the music was great as well.
nice.
Um, yeah, I do love like bashment and like soca kind of music. So it was really good seeing everyone going, and how packed it was as well.
Yeah, the vibe seemed pretty amazing. I didn't get the chance to go, but I did see like you, I saw quite a few of the attendees traveling on the underground, and yeah, the
Mm.
costumes were just stunning. It must have taken them a long time to make those types of costumes. I'm talking about the kind of big winged peacock golden feathered costumes. It was, very shiny. and
Mm.
colourful. And yeah, talking about the Notting Hill, just a few facts here. The Notting Hill Carnival. There are up to 2 million attendees at Carnival every year, plus 40,000 volunteers and 9,000 police officers. It's crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy, yeah.
That means that Carnival is as big as 11 Glastonbury festivals, which is pretty crazy. And it's the second largest carnival in the world, just behind Carnival in Rio de Janeiro.
Really? Wait, Notting Hill is the second biggest carnival.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Um, and it's the largest street festival in Europe.
Yeah, that I believe, I can imagine. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe this one. Carnival contributes around 93 million to London's economy every year, and the policing costs just 6 million out of that. So that's
Hmm.
87 million in the bank. It's not too bad.
Well, shout out to Carnival for
Yes. Yes. Very cool. There are five different aspects of Carnival, which are masquerade, sound systems, steel pan bands, calypso, and soccer. And maybe we could go next year
yeah, I'll be
and
fine with.
organize a little trip with some of the Kinjos. Now we're going to move on to some stories about local neighborhoods in the UK and some neighborhood dilemmas. So here we go. Patience, this is an interesting neighborhood story, and I'd like to know what you would do if this happened to you. This has
Okay.
come from, all these are from Board Panda, and this is number 3 on the list. And it said, my neighbor dug up my fancy flowers that were in my front garden and replanted them in her own front garden, only 15 feet away.
Okay.
What would you do in that situation?
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. But what? So they went to the neighbor, took out the flowers and put
Yeah.
them in their
Yes.
own. What?
That's crazy, isn't it? What would you do if they did that to you?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Like, oh, I was just going to take them back because why are you taking? I'll go and take them back. I mean, I guess if you're doing it in a way, I know in UK it's actually like trespassing when you go on someone's property without their knowledge or like them saying you can come.
Yeah.
So that could be another option. If they're based in UK, you can just report that because that's trespassing and stealing at the same time. You can easily find them for that. Um, that is if you don't get with them. It sounds like a very toxic neighbor. That's what it sounds
It
like.
does. It does.
What do you
Uh,
think? Well,
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask for them back, right? Well, in fact, you wouldn't even need to ask, I don't think. I mean, it could go on for
oh, but
years.
then they could say, "Oh, hey, this is actually mine." Do you know how some people try to gaslight you into like, even though they know they're the ones like they're the problem, they'll still try to like make it
Oh yes, I've been on Tinder. I know this problem.
on Tinder.
But yeah, I've got another interesting one here. See what you think of this. It said, we used to live next to a woman that would have a disco party for for her cats in her backyard at 2 a.m. every few days. She would put up a disco ball and party lights with music playing. Um, yeah, that does seem a bit odd. So what would you do if your neighbor started having disco parties for her cats at 2 a.m.?
I mean, I can't really do anything, can I? It sounds it sounds more like it sounds crazy. I don't know what that's crazy. That is
Would you just join in? I might just join in. It sounds like too much fun to miss out
I think you would, but I wouldn't.
on. Ah, um,
It sounds like a cult. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. It
hmm.
sounds it sounds like she loves partying with her cats. Like that those are her best days. And who am I to crash that party? Like, let them have fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Well, it's a cat party, you can't really crash a cat party. You just gotta let it
Uh,
happen, I think. Um,
Exactly.
this is an interesting one. It says my neighbor was hopping my fence during the day when I was at work to use my pool that was in my garden. Wow. And he said when I confronted him, thanks to a secondary neighbor who snitched on him, he said when I confronted him, he claimed that he had an agreement with the previous tenant that he could use the pool whenever he wanted. Um, and he said, "Well, guess what? I'm not that tenant, so you cannot use the pool." But yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, if you have to jump over to use it, that pretty much tells you that you know you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
So,
I think if there's a fence in the way of you using a pool, then that means you shouldn't be using the pool. Yeah,
exactly. Or you should be like asking for permission. But the fact that they were like, oh, the previous owner said I could use it. So you knew that there was a new owner and you still think they like the same
yeah.
verbal
They just
consent. That's
ignored that bit of it. Yeah,
wild.
yeah, that is
That's wild.
wild. Well,
What would you
this
do?
is quite a funny one actually. It says my next door neighbor's dog kennel has electricity, and the dog sits in the kennel at night with a light with a light on and a radio going and a small electric fan in the summer to keep them cool. Well, that's quite nice, really.
Oh, that's lovely actually. It's like you're a dog, but you're gonna have your own space. Oh, okay. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, that's quite nice.
But the radio, does it actually care about the radio?
Yeah, I wonder what he's listening to actually. Whether it's
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's a radio station for dogs. I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe I feel like a TV would do better because then they can watch movies like All Dogs Go to Heaven, kind of cartoons, or like there was this other movie about a dog that was loyal to its owner. It was a golden retriever,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, the owner had like I think he had gone or died or something, and he would still come to the train station every day for I don't know how many years to go see him.
Oh
So
really?
maybe that
Hmm.
yeah, it was like it's the I think it's the whole point is just around like dogs and loyalty. Like even after the owner was no longer there, he would still go to the train station and wait for him at the same time every single I don't know if it was every single day, but
Hmm.
he would literally go, yeah.
Oh well, that's it. That's nice.
I know you're a cat person, so this doesn't really
Yeah, exactly.
doesn't do
I'm happy for that.
I don't care. But yeah,
But,
I love
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in fact, talking about pets, we are hoping to launch a campaign where people can send in pictures of their pets because we'd love for you to share your pets to us on the Hikinjo app. But more about that I don't know at a later date. But yeah, so they're just some interesting stories I thought I'd share for this week. I'll save. There's a bunch more of them. I'll save them for next week. But yeah, if you have any interesting neighborhood stories, please post them on the wall and let us have a good laugh. Okay, next we are going to talk about the Hikinjo app. And for this week, thought we would change gear a bit and talk about how you can break the ice with your neighbors and break the ice on the app, because breaking the ice can be one of the hardest things to do. Once you're over that initial barrier and that initial hurdle, then the conversation can flow freely. But before that, um, it can sometimes be a bit difficult to get the ball rolling conversationally. So we are going to talk about how you can break the ice and the best ways you can break the ice. So patience. Why can it sometimes be tough to break the ice within a community and within community apps?
I think it's just different reasons. It could be just different personalities. That's not
Yeah.
something we have to go over. It could be that maybe they didn't have like a community that you're trying to establish before you came into the community.
Yeah.
And I think it's like human behavior, like you're always you always go to something that you're already familiar and comfortable with rather than something new.
Mm,
So when someone tries to introduce like a new way or like trying to talk to you, the first thing, maybe this is just me, but the first thing I go to is just like I get confused. If just a random person comes and talk to me, even if they're my neighbor, I'll probably just be thinking like, oh, maybe they need help with something.
mm.
Um, they're okay, like, because most of the time in UK, I think that's probably one of the few times you actually speak to your neighbor. So I would say honestly, it just depends on the person. It could be just two different personalities,
Yeah.
something new to them, or they just have social anxiety. There are ways that you can feel comfortable speaking to a neighbor. Um, first thing, uh, first thing is first. It's just when it comes to like speaking to anybody new, everyone is nervous.
Mm.
So having that thought in your mind, like, hey, this is it's normal for me to feel nervous. It's normal for me to feel um like a weirdo or however you feel. Those things are totally normal, and I think it should be a thing where you basically decide, you know what? I feel like, do you know like that book that goes, feel the fear and do it anyway?
Yes, I've read
So
that. Yes.
yeah, so it's like no matter how nervous you feel or how uncomfortable you feel, it's not always an indication to not do something. Sometimes it's just your body telling you like we're not used to this. So being patient with yourself and just giving yourself a little bit of affirmation, like it's okay. And sometimes if it's too much for you, it might be better to do it when there's a friend there. There's just something about having someone you're already friends with, which experiencing new things, it helps. Um, as long as you don't make it look like you're ganging up on another person, then that's totally fine. Like you speak to that person from a place of like love, compassion, and just like, you know, like, hi, how are you doing? I saw you just moved in, or like, oh, like I've been seeing you for a while, I've been really busy. I've been meaning to talk to you, like, how are you? Or just give them a compliment.
Yeah.
But really nervous and anxious, it's totally normal when you're speaking to somebody, whether that's your neighbor or somebody, even someone who's been around your circle for a while, like it's totally normal to feel nervous. Um, but just take your time. They're not gonna all of a sudden move houses the next day because you spoke to them. It
Yeah.
doesn't
If you see the for sale sign up the next day, then don't take it personally. Um,
don't you it's them.
it's them, it's not you. Yeah, it can be tough to break the ice, but as Patience said, just be yourself and I mean it's always good to find a common denominator. So a lot of British people in particular talk about the weather, or a sporting event that may be happening, or something big in the news or within culture, or if there's a TV program everyone's been watching, or politics. No, actually, stay away from politics. But the rest, they're great conversation starters.
What are some ways do you think you can break the ice from your point of view?
If you're, good at graphic design or you have access to apps such as Canva, then why not create a post inviting people to introduce themselves
Yeah.
in your area? And, you could just say, hey guys, I'm new to the app or I'm new to the area. Would you mind just sharing your name and an interesting fact about you and, whereabouts you live in the area? You don't have to give the full address, obviously, but
Yeah.
just some little facts about yourself, and then see who leaves a comment, and that's a great way to get the ball rolling. Because all it takes sometimes is for that first person to make the first move, and in a lot of ways on these apps and in real life, people are just waiting for this first person to make the move. And if you can just
Mm,
allow yourself to be brave and make that post, yeah, I think you'll be surprised at the positive reactions. So, yeah, create an introductory post, and then you might want to create some more posts where you are promoting, I don't know, a new event or a club, an evening of watching a sporting event together, or even if it's just a coffee day, or a beer in the local pub. So yeah, they are all great ways to break the ice and to get the ball rolling.
That's a great answer.
Well, thank you. Um, cool. So yes, hopefully we have helped you out there, and in fact, we could even post something in app where we say to you guys, "Hey, why not introduce yourselves?" So look out for our posts in app, our introductory posts. Leave your name and some facts about yourself on our wall. There you go. Okay, and now we are at that point of the show where we welcome Jaceline on board. I believe we are talking about youth and the youth projects that people can get involved with in their local community. Is that right?
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. So quite an important topic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you do most of the talking, but the first question I wanted to start with was what kind of challenges are the youth experiencing in this day and age in the UK?
So I believe that youth today face a wide range of challenges and that can significantly impact their well-being and development. The challenges that I will talk about today, it's not important that every youth will face these challenges, but to some extent, and some may encounter additional obstacles also. So, um, first of all, I think mental health issues. So, the youth really goes through mental health problems, and including anxiety, depression, stress, that has been on rise. Factors like academic pressure, social media, and stigma associated with seeking help contribute to this challenge. Second point is cyberbullying. There's been a lot of advancement in digital technology, and more the advancement is leading to cyberbullying. Online harassment and bullying can have severe emotional and psychological effects on young people. Thirdly, I feel a lot of social media pressure. These days, social media platforms often create unrealistic standards of beauty, success, and happiness. And many youth feel pressurized to, conform to these standards and living to self esteem issues. And this new thing called FOMO, fear of missing out on things, which leads them to whatever they're seeing, follow it and post, and to do things that they can't even do, but under the society pressure, they have to do it. Then academic pressure, the pressure to excel academically and secure a bright future can be overwhelming for the youth.
Yeah.
Uh, they have to give so many exams, college admissions, career expectations can lead to stress and burnout. Not only this, I feel some people are really sharp and brainy,
Mm.
but they don't like studying from what is there on the in the books.
Yeah.
But then academic pressure, they have to study, they can't get into colleges, they can't get into good schools. So these days there's a lot of pressure, peer pressure comes. Then financial stress. Some youth also face financial hardships, either due to personal circumstances or student loan debts. Especially in UK, if we talk about, after a certain age, parents don't really take care of their kids. They want them to be independent enough. They'll pay their college fees themselves. Financial stress can impact their ability to, pursue education and
Yeah.
find stable housing or access healthcare, and another stress that youth goes through.
Hmm.
Then obviously other things I think youth goes through is unemployment and job insecurity. Entering the job market can be very challenging for young people. High youth unemployment rates and job insecurity can lead to financial instability and stress.
Yeah.
Social and political issues, yeah, identify and self discovery, very major issue these days. I think adolescence and young adulthood are periods of identity formation and self-discovery, and this can be very challenging time as youth navigate questions about their values, beliefs, and personal identity. Some people really can't self-identify themselves till very late age, and this is a very stressful thing. They're confused in life, they probably don't get right guidance, they don't have right mentors in their life. and again puts them under pressure. So these are the challenges I feel youth goes through, and providing support, fostering open communication, and creating safe spaces for youth to express their concerns are essential steps in addressing these challenges and helping young people thrive in this day and age.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, that's very informative. So great answer there. Just one more thing. I wondered what types of charities represent the youth and would be good to volunteer for.
First of all, youth development organizations. So these organizations focus on the overall development of young people, including their personal growth, leadership skills, and character building. They often offer mentoring, after-school programs, and life skill training. The second kind of charity is education and scholarship. These charities provide financial assistance, scholarship, and educational resources to help youth access quality education and pursue their academic goals. So, a lot of people are really sharp, they have good results, but they don't have money to enter into college or a good university, so they can approach to these charities. Use mental health charities. These organizations offer support and resource to address mental health issues among young people. And since this is growing, you can see a rise in mental issues with kids these days. They may provide. They also provide counseling services, crisis helpline, and awareness campaigns.
Mhm.
And also one more thing: students who are in universities and they go through any mental issues, every university has a unique calling number where they can call and they can talk to somebody even if it is 24/7 facility. So this is not something which is only UK wide, but also every school and university provides this sort of services. So these are just a few examples of the types of charities and organizations that represent and support youth, and each may have a specific mission and focus area, but all of them share the common goal of empowering and improving the lives of young people.
Okay, yeah, that's great, fantastic. And if anyone's listening and they would like to volunteer for any of those youth groups, then please do. They're always looking out for people, and it's a great way to give back to your community. So,
Definitely.
so Jaslyn, yeah, thank you very much for being so informative, and yeah, hope you have a good week ahead.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we are now in September, and here's some brilliant events coming up over the next month. On Friday the 8th and Saturday the 9th of September, we have the Tequila and Mezcal Festival, which is happening in London. There will be margaritas, plenty, and scrumptious Mexican snacks, it says here. So do check that out. That's at Studio 9294 in London. We also have the Backyard Comedy Club, which is very famous. In fact, Dave Chappelle played there last year. It is in Bethnal Green, so it's a great way to cheer you up as the autumn season kicks in. Yes, head over to the Backyard Comedy Club. It's a great comedy club that's been going for years. We also have London Shuffle Club, which is a bottomless brunch happening on various dates across November from Saturday the 2nd. And it says here it's one of the capital's quirkiest bottomless brunches. They offer free flowing fizz and beer, delicious pizzas, and a 55-minute alfresco shuffleboard session. So at just £35 a head, it's a good one to check out. So yeah, that's just free events going on in September in London. And if you fancy going along to any of those, then please post a comment on our wall, and let's see whether we can get you some locals to join you in those events. Okay, so many thanks for joining us for another episode of What Happens in the Neighborhood. And keep yourself happy and healthy and safe, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Goodbye.